Lindsay, how are you doing today?
I'm okay, I guess.
Just okay.
Yeah, just okay.
Have you been feeling any better or any different from the last visit?
Um, Actually, probably feeling a little worse, actually. I'm just like nearing the end of my semester, and I'm just really feeling like I'm just like crumbling, and I'm just gonna like fail out of grad school, and my life's gonna be over.
So you feel about the same. You're still feeling really down. Sounds like you still have the belief that you're going to fail out of grad school and that you haven't improved at all.
Yeah, exactly. I'm
Okay.
just feeling like my grades are just, I'm gonna fail, and my grades are suffering.
Okay. So I'm going to have you fill out that mood checker, that mood survey that we did last time, just so I can gauge about how different or the same that you've been feeling. Okay.
Okay.
Here you go.
Oh, thanks.
Here you go. All right. I'm just going to total it up here. All right. So yeah, this, just like you're saying, it seems like you haven't changed at all. That you're still kind of really down. You're still feeling inadequate in everything that you're doing.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So, do you remember last time when I kind of explained to you what cognitive behavioral therapy entailed and what automatic negative thoughts were? Do you remember that at all?
A little bit. I know you mentioned it, but
Okay. So, again, an automatic negative thought is kind of, it's a thought that you have that you're not really aware that you're having, and it kind of sheds in a negative light. Those normally are based on an event that occurred, and it kind of influences your emotions, which influence the way that you behave.
mm-hmm.
Okay? So, say someone thought that they were annoying or aggravating to other people, and it kind of made them upset because they thought people didn't want to be around them.
Mm-hmm.
So then they would isolate themselves from that people.
Gotcha.
Okay? Can you give me can you kind of put that in your own words and just see if you understand that at all? Or?
Yeah, so I guess it sounds like we have these like automatic negative thoughts, and they kind of influence how I feel,
Mm-hmm.
which also influences like what I do and how I behave. Um, do you want me to like do an example for me?
Yeah, why don't you give me an example, see if I can.
Okay,
Yeah.
so I guess like for me, with school especially, like I got like a really bad grade on one of my assignments, and I was really upset about that. So I guess my bad grade kind of made me sad, and like made me think that I'm just like inadequate, and I can never do well with anything, and I'm just like sucking at life. And it just made me not even want to like go to school or try anymore, because I'm just like, what's the point? I'm gonna fail anyways.
Exactly. Okay. So it seems like you have a good grasp on that. Okay. So what it shows to me is that your automatic negative thought is that you're inadequate, that you're not doing well in school. So you kind of have this feeling like, what's the point? Why should I even go?
Yeah.
Okay, so from what your example showed, I definitely see that you have a kind of a grasp that of what CBT actually is and what automatic negative thoughts are. So what I want to do is I want to focus on understanding how you feel and what your beliefs are, and that kind of to change the behavior that you've been having. Okay.
Okay.
So the automatic negative thought that I believe you're having is that you're inadequate and that you really feel like you're failing at school and that you can't do anything right.
Yeah, that definitely sounds like what I've been thinking.
So today that's what I want to do. So I'm going to kind of lay out what we want to do today, okay? So I want to focus on that one thought and kind of understand why you feel that way and kind of indulge more into that, okay?
Okay.
And then after, we're going to go over your homework assignment
Mhm.
from last week and see how you did with that.
Okay.
And then I'm going to assign you a new homework assignment for the next session. But we're going to talk about some obstacles or instances that can kind of affect how you go into that, okay?
Okay.
Okay, so your automatic negative thought is that you kind of feel as if you're not doing well and that you are failing, that you should just not go to school at all because what's the point?
Right.
Okay. So can you give me a little bit more about that? Like, why do you feel that way? Why do you think that you aren't doing well in school?
Well, I got a really bad grade on this one assignment for one of my classes, and I generally get, high B's and A's, but this one assignment, I got like a 73 or something like that. Don't even remember because I tried to block it out of my memory, and it just got me really upset, and now I'm just really anxious that I'm going to fail my class, and um, it's making me feel really bad because I feel like I'm so stupid. Like, how could I get a 73? Like, there must be something wrong with me, and it's just so frustrating. I feel like everyone was right, like when they used to say like, oh, you suck at this, you suck at that, like whatever. And I used to think like school was like the one thing I was good at, but now I'm just like I'm not even good at school either. And
Okay. So it sounds like you kind of have this feeling in regards to other aspects too, not just in school in general.
yeah,
And that you're, um, since you've gotten that 73 on your assignment, you just feel everything after that you haven't been able to do as well, and you just feel like you're doing horribly.
yeah, I just feel like I'm kind of like, oh well, I got a 73, so I'm not gonna do better than that now.
So it kind of seems like what I'm understanding is that you just feel like you shouldn't, it doesn't matter anymore, and that you should just not try because it's not going to work.
Yeah, I mean, I just think I'm gonna fail anyways. So
Okay. So you mentioned that you have been told in the past that you suck, and that people have said kind of things to give you the idea that you are inadequate in the things you do.
yeah, definitely, yeah.
So what has happened to negate that? What has there ever been an instance where you've done really well and you've been praised?
Um, well, yeah, I mean, in undergrad, I was on the dean's list all 4 years, so I mean, my parents were really happy about that, and I mean, I did get into grad school all on my own, based on the things I've done and my grades, so I mean, that was like a nice feeling, and I know people were like happy for me, when that happened, and I didn't feel like I was such like a failure.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and yeah, I mean, like I said, this year was going pretty good up until the end, and it's just kind of like falling apart now.
Okay, so you feel as if like you've done well, but since that you just keep going downhill and nothing's really stopping you from going downhill.
Yeah.
Okay. So, but from what you're saying, it sounds as if there are instances where you've actually succeeded and been probably on the higher standards of what normal people would be.
Yeah, definitely. I've definitely felt like I, was worth it and doing well and having success, and I was happy when I was doing well.
Yeah. Okay. So I want to just ask you a couple more questions about what has actually happened to make you think that you can actually do it and actually are going to pass grad school. Um, so besides that 173, have you gotten any poor grades prior to that? Like, have you failed anything?
No, I've never failed anything. I've generally gotten, like high B's and A's.
Okay.
That was definitely like my first low C.
Okay. Now, so that was the only assignment that you kind of did poorly on recently, and
Oh, yeah, actually, yeah, it was the only assignment.
okay. So now I'm going to ask you. So on a scale of 1 to 10,
Mm-hmm.
how believable is it that you are actually going to fail grad school?
Maybe like an 8.
An 8?
Yeah.
Okay. So that's pretty high.
Yeah.
Now, is there anybody in your class that you know of, or in the program that has done poorly on multiple assignments, and that you would say is in a worse off spot than you are?
Oh yeah, there's definitely someone I can think of that
Really?
fails everything, like never shows up to class.
Mhm.
I could definitely see them
Okay.
failing out of the program.
Now, can you kind of describe your participation in the program a little bit more? Do you always go to class? Do you always complete your homework?
Yeah. I've actually been to every single class. I only missed one when I was really sick. I had the flu really bad. I do all my homework assignments. I've never handed in anything late or anything like that.
Okay. And this one person in particular that you're thinking of that never goes to class, never finishes anything, and always fails. So
Hmm.
you would say that you're better off in the program than they are.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
Okay.
Way better
So on a scale of 1 to 10, where would you place yourself comparing in comparison to the other person?
off. Probably like a 4.
A 4.
Yeah.
Okay. So you're a little you're better off there. So
Oh
okay.
yeah, definitely.
All right. Is someone who's doing absolutely horrible in class, doesn't show up, and is failing everything.
Yeah.
And you believe that um, you are doing better. You rate yourself as the believability of the statement as much lower than it would be.
Yeah,
Okay.
definitely.
Now, is there someone that you know that is doing extremely well, but has the same belief that you are, that they feel like they're failing?
Um, yeah, actually, my friend Sarah gets like A's on everything,
Okay.
but she feels like she's gonna like fail out.
So, how accurate do you believe that she feel the belief that she has that she's failing? How much do you think that is true?
Like not at all, because there's no way she's gonna fail out. I mean, she's passing every class.
Okay.
She gets good grades.
So would you say that she believes that if she doesn't get an A, she's failing the class or she's failing the assignment?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. And do you agree? Do you agree with that? Do you agree that even if she gets a B, that she has to be failing, that she's doing terrible?
No, I mean no. That's still like a good grade, and it's definitely not by any means failing.
So, what would you, if you could change her belief, what would you want her to believe about her performance in the class and in the
I
program?
mean that she's fine and she's doing well, and she's obviously gonna make it through the program okay, and she basically has nothing to worry about.
Okay, so how would you apply that to you? Someone who got a 73 on an exam but has done much better on everything else.
Um, I mean, I guess I would probably tell myself the same thing that I got one bad grade, but my other grades in the class were still okay. So I mean, I don't think that one grade is enough to bring me down to failing the class. So um, I mean, I guess like I'm okay. In a sense, I don't really have anything to worry about.
Exactly. I know that may seem hard for you to believe, but so you're saying that just because you got this one grade and you're not perfect on everything that you do doesn't necessarily mean that you're failing and
Right.
that you're gonna fail out of grad school and there's no point.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Now, so I want to bring up the homework that you did, okay? So I had you, you were supposed to send an email to your professor to set up a time to go and speak with them about your grade in this course to see if you were actually, like, where you were in the course. Now, were you able to complete that, or?
Yeah, so I did email my professor, um, and I just basically was like, when's a good time for you to meet to discuss, my 73 on the assignment? And I'm still waiting to hear back from him, but I just sent the email yesterday.
So you haven't really gotten a response yet. How did you feel sending that email?
I mean, I'll admit it was pretty hard, and I was definitely nervous because I can't say it's something that I want to do. Um, so I was definitely nervous to send it out, and I'm kind of hoping that he just never responds, so I never have to meet with him. But I mean, at the same time, it did feel kind of good to email him because I am kind of curious, why I got a 73.
Now, can you explain the reasons to me about like why you were actually nervous and afraid to send the email?
Yeah, I mean, I guess it's just like intimidating to sit down with him when he's kind of like the gatekeeper of my future and decides my grade, and I don't want him to feel like, oh, like here's this stupid girl coming to my office, she got a 73, like probably thinks I'm just gonna hand out grades, and I don't want him to think I'm like stupid just because I got 173.
So it sounds like you were kind of afraid to send the email because you felt that he was going to think of you as being stupid and someone that's inadequate in the program and that isn't actually excelling.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Like, I don't know, maybe he's just like, oh, what's the reason I'm gonna meet with her? Like, she's not gonna last in this program anyways.
Okay. So you were able to complete the last homework assignment. It seemed as if you did have some reservations about it, but you were able to do it anyways.
Yeah.
Okay. So for next week, I'd like you to actually meet when your professor emails you back. I'd like you to actually meet with him to discuss not only that specific grade, but your performance in the course altogether.
Okay.
That way you can kind of gauge where you get a realistic view of where you really are at that point.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's true.
Okay, so to kind of give you a sense of how that would go, I'd like to do a role play to kind of give you a sense and give you a better preparedness for when you go in, okay?
Okay.
So I'll be
sounds
your
good.
professor,
Okay.
and I want you to come to me, say we're meeting, I want you to come to me and so we can discuss your grade, okay?
Okay. So, should I go from like I'm walking into your office?
Yeah.
Okay. Hi, Professor.
Oh, hey, Lindsay, how are you?
Oh, I'm good, thanks. How are you?
I'm good. I know I said we could meet today, but I actually have to run, so is it okay if we meet at another time, or we can just email or something like
Oh,
that?
yeah, you can just email me, no problem.
Okay. Is that all right?
Yeah.
Okay. How did that make you feel, Lindsay, that I wasn't able to actually meet with you?
Probably made me feel like you purposely said you couldn't meet with me because, like, you think I'm stupid, so you don't want to meet with me anyway, so you're kind of, like, avoiding it.
Okay. Well, in every situation, there are obstacles that can occur, correct?
Yeah.
I mean, this is life and things happen like that. So if there was, what are some other obstacles that might come up to kind of prevent the meeting between us?
I mean, maybe, like, my professor has a meeting or, like, something, like, an emergency came up, so all of a sudden, last minute, he couldn't meet with me.
So those are some reasons why the professor might actually not be able to meet with you, rather than just assuming that he thinks that that he wants to purposely avoid meeting with you and talking to you. Correct?
Yeah.
Okay. So now, what can you do if that comes up? Like, how can you solve the problem of those obstacles? How can you avoid those from happening?
Maybe I could ask him if we can meet a different time or a different day. Yeah, something like that.
Okay. So why don't we do that role play again, and then we'll kind of use some of these solutions to see how it goes, okay?
Okay. Hi, Professor.
Hey, Lindsay, how are you?
Oh, I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. So I'm really sorry I have a meeting. I have to run real quick. Can we meet a different day? Does another day work for you?
Yeah. I mean, I'm free all week, so whenever's good for you.
How about tomorrow around like 3? Is that okay?
Sure. Free
Okay.
tomorrow. I can be here.
All right, sounds good. Okay. So that was you used a solution to pick a different day, so you could actually meet with your professor.
Mm-hmm.
Now I kind of want to do a role play of what you actually think is going to happen in the meeting. How you think the professor is going to react to you. What do you think like? Can you explain how you think what he'll say to you when you ask him about his grade?
He'll probably say that I got a C because my assignment was terrible and that it's probably going to ruin my grade for the course and then I fail out of the program.
Okay. All right. So let's go into that role play and just see if it gives you any more support and positive feedback. Okay.
Okay. Hi, Professor.
Hey, Lindsay, how are you?
I'm good, thanks. How are you?
I'm good. So you wanted to talk about your grades today, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So
Yeah.
what do you think about it? Why are you concerned?
Well, I'm just concerned because it was like my first bad grade. I got a 73, and I just feel like I'm gonna fail the class and fail the program. And I'm sure like you're thinking like, why am I sitting in your office? Like,
Lindsay, you got one bad grade. It wasn't even that bad. It was still passing. You have nothing to worry about. You're perfect. You perform tremendous in this program. You do well on most of the assignments. You still have a B in this class, and from what I've gathered from your other professors, you're doing well in those classes too. So you're fine. You shouldn't be concerned at all. Okay.
okay, well that's good to hear.
Okay. All right. So how did that make you feel?
Relieved actually.
Relieved.
Yeah. I mean, it's nice to know that just because I get one bad grade, like you wouldn't think that I'm stupid or inadequate or like frustrated that I want to meet with him about it.
So that's what I want you to do for your next session. I want you to go meet with your professor and kind of have a conversation about your grade and your performance in the program altogether. Okay?
Okay.
Um, how do you feel like you could do that? Do you feel comfortable on a scale from 1 to 10? Do you think you're comfortable in doing
Um, Probably like an 8. I feel pretty comfortable. I
Okay.
mean, doing the role plays is definitely helpful.
that? Okay.
So that was nice.
All right. So that's your homework for next session. Is there anything else you want to bring up today? Or?
No, I mean, I think we talked about a lot of good stuff today, and it's really helpful for me. So,
Okay. So I'll see you next session.
okay, see you.